fairy grasshoppers, it's Bridget. Nice to see you this evening. Oh, it's been a day, let me tell you, a week. Yesterday, I'm recording this, the week that we had the full moon and the autumn equinox. And as you know me very well, probably from Above Life channel and from Fairy Grasshopper, you know I love the summer, and it's been still warm, so that's good. And it's still been sunny, that's good, but it's getting darker earlier. As you can tell, I'm in the greenhouse and I have to use like artificial lighting right now. In fact, it's probably not so good, their lighting. Let's see if we can bump it, fix it a little bit. Oh, that's even worse. Let me just fix it. Oh my goodness sakes. All right. Tonight, this is gonna be a wine with Bridget. I have a little bit of Moscato here. Had a glass of wine tonight, so you're gonna join me. We're gonna have a conversation about an intuitive topic, because you know on Above Life channel, I have Sunday morning coffee with Bridget. Maybe you don't know that. Sunday morning coffee with Bridget. It's a podcast. I take an intuitive topic and I talk about it. So today we're gonna talk about sex, Shakti and sexuality. Actually, we're going to talk about my session that I did, a group session, a private group session with Prince. And we talked about sex, Shakti, and sexuality. And it was fun. It was hot. The topic was very hot. I had to promise myself that it didn't matter what he said, that I would share it. Whatever I, got for information, I would share it. And I did. I was really blunt and straightforward in that channeling. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was fun, for sure. Let's have a drink. Cheers to you today, tonight, whenever you're watching this. I wish you health and happiness and good sex. Prince in the afterlife. So let's talk about that a little bit. So what was it like to channel and have like a specific topic and do a private group on a topic that's so intimate? It was a stretch from my comfort zone, but it was really an empowering experience because I've been working so much with Shakti, as you know, because I've talked about Shakti. And Shakti is this life source energy. For me, the definition of it is a connection with women, with being a woman, and this life source energy that comes from the feminine energy, the divine feminine. And that's not to say divine feminine versus divine masculine, like one's better than the other, but it's to say that the way that I source my energy and the understanding for me in my inspiration for myself in a human body, in a human form, is from the Shakti energy. And that Shakti is housed often, for me at least, I first thought it was in the sacral chakra, like the hips and the pelvis and the sex organs, and it was all about reproducing and being successful, and having children and being like this just attracted, very feminine, beautiful, sexy person. Like that was kind of my understanding of what like Shakti meant or was. And I honestly didn't feel like I was this priestessing goddess body type. And so when I started connecting very specifically with divine feminine energies on my psychic path, it was about 2013. And I went to California and experienced a soulful women's retreat where they talked a lot about priestessing energy. We did activities around that. We had experiences, meditations, and activations and healing sessions around that topic. And it was very powerful and profound for me. And so it opened me up to a whole different kind of understanding of expression of Shakti as goddess energy. And for me, understanding myself as a woman in this human body, and I do identify as a woman. I am a woman, and that's how I choose how my gender I identify my gender, and also my expression, let's say it that way. Yeah, as a woman. So my journey in divine feminine and Shakti has been quite a journey, and there's been ups and downs. There's been challenges for me too with not being sure what my Shakti is. Is that about my sex drive? Is that about the expression of me as a feminine woman? Is that about me as a feminist and empowering? Is that me as a mystic Is that me as a psychic? Is that me as a priestess or a leader in divine feminine energy? And it's all of these things. And so having this conversation with Prince in the afterlife was quite invigorating because he talks so blunt and just so open about sex and about women and appreciating women's bodies that it inspired me to give more appreciation to my own and recognizing that we are all different body types. We are all different body types and we get to express in different ways, in lots of fluid ways. And I mean, I'm lucky that I am a feminine body and I identify as a feminine person, as a woman. So I am in a woman body and I identify as a woman. So I'm lucky because there's a lot of people that actually don't. Like they identify as divine feminine, but they're not in a biologically feminine body, or maybe the opposite. Maybe they're in a biologically feminine body. Maybe this is you, but you don't feel all that feminine. You feel more masculine. And it's kind of this weird, like, well, maybe am I abandoning myself, my Shakti, my divine feminine? If I embrace myself as more of a masculine representation, maybe I identify more as a male. No, you still have Shakti. Men have Shakti, women have Shakti. It's just different in the expression. And then the layers of the expression of it is different. That's what I learned this week with Prince in the afterlife. And I learned that talking about sex is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. And it's not quite as embarrassing. It's not like we're high school kids and we're like 15 or 16 and trying to talk about, oh my God, did you guys have sex? You know, it's not like that. We're adults here. I've had 4 babies, all natural. And so I should not be at all limited in my conversation about sex, right? But having children, procreating, reproduction, it's not really the whole thing that Shakti is about. I mean, it's life source energy, yeah, so yeah, that's part of it, but that's identified with one particular part of my body and the creation energy of that womb space. But that's not what Shakti is only, and that's not what sex is only. Sex is much more of a transcendent energetic experience and expression if you allow yourself to feel it in that way. So it goes all the way up the chakras. Even if it comes in to the root chakra and the base chakra and the hips and the pelvis, it flows up and lights up that kind of liquid alchemy in the solar plexus and then in the heart chakra and in the throat expressively. And so depending upon, now that's just physical, like sex. But what about like the intimacy that activates the Shakti, like the kissing or the touch, this gentle touch? Maybe it's a cuddle. Maybe it's a snuggling up on the couch. Maybe it's a hand holding or walking on the beach or something like that. That also ignites the Shakti, and that also gives a flow state of aliveness to your body. Your human body reacts and physically responds, but also your energy does, and you can light up, you can recharge and rejuvenate yourself without actually having physical like penetration sex. You can have this intimacy and this interaction, this really passionate connection with someone else without that in other ways, and it activates the Shakti, and you're having sex. Like it's a different form of sex. So kind of fascinating, isn't it? Definitely. I really want to explore this topic more. I don't know much about it. Let me just be clear. I just don't. I don't. From an afterlife perspective or a spiritual perspective, but I'm interested in it because I think it's something that maybe I've misunderstood in the past. Let's say that. Because I've seen it very utilitarian in the past. Like, it's for a purpose. There's an outcome. There's a goal in mind, but maybe not. Maybe it's not just like satisfaction or pleasure. Maybe it's intimacy is more of this connection, this knowing, this trust, sacred trust in touch. And really for me too, activating that divine feminine, that's like right where I'm at in regards to that conversation that I had with Prince this week. And some of you were there. If you were there, go ahead and give this a thumbs up and comment. If you got anything interesting, any interesting takeaways when we talked with Prince about sex in the afterlife, not sex in the afterlife, but sex as a human with the body from the afterlife perspective now, and Shakti and Sexuality. So go ahead and comments below. And who else would you like to talk to? What other afterlife celebrities would you like to hear from on that topic? And let me share with you, if I do something like that, I'll probably do a general video like I did on Above Life channel for Prince. Go ahead and check that out. It was 2 weeks ago. Prince in the afterlife talked about gender, sex and sexuality, I think it was, or something like that. Shakti, sex, and gender identity, something like that. And then we had a small group because there was a lot more that I wanted to get into that I couldn't do on YouTube, like in a general YouTube channeling. I wasn't going to do that. I was only going to do that, go deeper, pun intended, go deeper, on that topic with people who generally wanted to know more about it and weren't just voyeurs, like weren't just watching. They were like invested, like really wanted to know and really wanted to understand it from a spiritual perspective too, not just a physical perspective, but a spiritual perspective too. So who else, what other, and I know somebody right away that comes to mind, afterlife celebrities would you like to have that kind of talk with? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much, Fairy Grasshoppers, for being here tonight. I enjoyed spending time with you this evening. I hope you have a great night. I hope I've inspired your spirit and filled you with hope and encouraged you to live your life. It's your life after all. It's your life after all. And you get to live it. Just live it. Thanks for watching.